When I was a teenager, I wanted to be an artist. I remember my father said, "Don't go into art. You'll be hungry, for the rest of your life." And so he discouraged me from going into art. And at the same time, I was very, very good as a kid, very good in math and all the science classes. Architecture is a balance between science and art. The house that we used to live in Vietnam, it was designed by an architect, and I was totally fascinated by the drawings, the accuracy of the drawings that were produced by the architect. And it was an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous drawing. And it was such a precise line drawing. It's all drawn by hand. And I said, man, I want to be able to do that. Ever since I was 13, I chose that route, and I wanted to be an architect. A lot of people think that architects just do pretty pictures. That's not true at all. We can do pretty pictures, but beyond that, we have to know the technical portion of that, of how to make those pretty pictures to become a reality. And it has to be within the budget, and it has to be constructed on time and all that. And beyond that, it has to be functional for the client. The process of a project, first we read about the requirement and understand what it is they're looking for. And then we just brainstorming. So what we do is we just tear out from the magazine various pictures that seem to apply to the project. And then our staff, we would get together and we would talk about why each one is good. And so that way, everybody in the office understands the same requirement, that we all go in the same direction. We have to be librarian because we have to learn about libraries to design a library. We have to be a doctor because we design clinics. So we have to learn a little bit about everything, and that's what I love about the profession of architecture. So why does the space feel pleasant? Why does the space make people work harder, more efficient? That's all because of architecture. It's the understanding of what human nature needs. This is one of my favorite projects, the Pentagon Memorial Competition. We call it From This Point. From that point of impact where Flight 77 hit the Pentagon, and from there that we radiate out, and that gives a guideline for the location of the trees. And there are 88 trees that represent individual lives that were lost during that Flight 77. The center owl is called Owl of Remembrance. It's the checkerboard represent the actual seat that a passenger sat on that plane. People can stand right at any particular spot right next to somebody else that create a relationship between the loved one who come to visit or who have the lost ones sitting next to them. You know, every time that I present this memorial design, I feel kind of choked up. And that's what I'm telling you about architecture. Architecture is a lot more than just designing. And we create a design that stir up people's feeling. It kind of help them cope with the tragedy. I think that you probably will find that most architects are perfectionists. The same with artists, really. Because it's so subjective, and there's so many ways of doing things. If you ask 10 architects to come up with a design solution, you will get 10 different solutions. And each of the architects would think that his design is the best. As I practice more into the professional architecture, I feel that I can share that knowledge in the community that I live in. And it's a way of giving back. You know, we have that special knowledge. Why not incorporate it into the community? Why allow somebody else who don't have that experience to create a community where you live? That makes no sense to me. So that's why I've been involved in a lot of community projects. It is extremely rewarding feeling to be able to see one of the project that we dream, we sketch it out, and we built models, and then see it actually built and people actually using it. It feels extremely, I feel honored, I feel rewarded. You know, just like artists, when I used to be an artist, I always look forward to the day that I can sign on the corner of the painting. It's the same thing. When you finish a project, you see people move in, and especially if they like it, they enjoyed it, that makes it even better. There's not that many professions that you can create something and be able to see it for generations to come.